What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Melissa Renee with DreamBella.com, home for the melanin beauty, and we're here with episode 17 of Drinks and Discussion.
Let me give it a clap.
And we're honoring Black mothers today because this is Mother's Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And our drink is called what?
This is our Black Mama Sangria.
Yes.
Black Mama Sangria.
Ooh, and it's really
infused
good,
with blackberry flavored brandy, red wine, and of course ginger ale or Sprite. You can use either one, and whatever fruit you want to use. I chose mango, blackberries, of course, blueberries, strawberries. I even threw a little orange juice in here just to kind of give it more of a natural sweetener.
Yes.
But yes, something simple you can make
It's
on your
really
own at home.
good. This is really
and
good.
cost effective.
Yes. So remember that name, Black. And when you remember that name, Black Mama Sangria, you got that from here. Drinks and Discussion from our in-house mixologist.
Self-proclaimed.
That's right, self-proclaimed. Oh, and you got to tell about the kicker.
Oh, okay. And so these, I put some tequila in it because this is going to be a day with no kids all day. So we need a little kicker. And I put this kicker just for, a special part of the topic too.
Yeah. Okay. I see where you going.
Yeah, that's what my kicker
well,
is.
so I guess we need to just jump on in. Just jump on in. So, our topic of this episode is, of course, everybody been talking about it, Ayesha Curry.
And I think very few people actually watched the entire episode.
Yeah, I'm an omit. I ain't had watched the whole thing either.
I really like the entire
and I need to go back and
episode,
watch it.
and you need to watch the entire
I just
episode
watched her
because
part, her
they
speaking.
even talked about other things, when it comes to marriage and, just a little hint on what women go through. I love your show, Jada. Oh
yes, of course. And Ayesha Curry, we're talking about Ayesha Curry. That's Steph Curry's wife, and they were on the Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett. And yes, if you don't watch the Red Table Talk, you gotta watch it because I think they expound on a lot of things that we discuss maybe among ourselves or not at all. So cool. So let's jump into it for those who don't know what's going on, but I'm sure a lot of you do. But just in case you don't, Ayesha Curry went on the Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett. It was a lot of other females on there.
It was her Steph Curry's mom, of course.
Okay, so Steph Curry mama was there,
sitting next to her,
next to her. Okay,
it was Ayesha, Steph Curry's mom, and Steph Curry's sister, and the fiance, which she announced on the show. She just got engaged to Steph Curry's younger brother.
Okay, does
so
he
the
play
fiance,
ball?
Yeah, he plays ball too.
Okay.
So it was like a family affair,
Okay. So in the episode, since she watched more, I watched the part when she was just, because it was trending and everybody was just like going bananas about it. So I was like, well, what's going on? And then when I actually saw her part and what she talked about, she basically talked about, she feeling like she has this, superstar basketball player as a husband. He gets all of this admiration from women, groupies, whatever you want to call them. And she was like, I kind of start to second guess myself and who I am because I never get that attention from other men. That's what she said, basically, in a nutshell. And I think some people took it to saying that she was seeking attention from outside her marriage with other men. Some people felt like, she was just, she was just doing what the average woman feels like. The average woman wants to be admired.
I think a lot of people read too far into it because they were like, oh, this is what's wrong with your marriage. You know, you're talking publicly about troubles in your marriage. Like, they read so far into it, and I could tell people didn't watch the whole episode because when you're, obviously Jada makes people feel comfortable to talk about stuff maybe they never thought they would kind of openly share, you know, and they say it so casually. And I feel like when she said it, it was like casually speaking. You know, I'm sitting around these group of women, including his mom, his sister, one of their brothers' soon-to-be wife, and I feel comfortable because this is my family. We're all women. We're all talking, you know, and I just mentioned something that kind of pops in my mind.
And some people, and some
it's
people
not like
have
she says she feels like this all the time.
And I think one thing we have to understand too, when people are expressing something from the top of their, just sporadically, like sometimes you hadn't processed it through yet to know how to explain it. Like I say that because me and my husband, like I explain that to him. Like it's certain things now that I can explain. Don't do me. Don't be back there shake your ass on. Now, it's certain things now that I can explain better to him in regards of me and him and our relationship than I could when, you know, years ago when I was a little younger. So that's one thing people have to keep in mind. So just because that's what it may have sounded a certain way, that's not necessarily the intent and what she meant. And maybe because, like you said, it was something that as she talked, she kind of got an epiphany.
The question was, you know, how do you deal with these women throwing themselves, you know, at your husband? And I want to say in actuality, I believe Steph Curry's mom went first on, you know, things she went through or whatever. She even talks about, you know, the points of marriage, you know. Yeah. They talked about a lot of stuff within that 30 minutes that I think was, you know, it was a good show. But no.
Well, first let's talk about how most black men responded in this situation. So, I don't know, I think most black men seem like they was very upset.
Oh, he out here doing this, that, and the third, and all you want is attention from other guys?
Yeah. That's what I took from it.
That's what a lot of them said.
A lot of y'all said.
A lot of y'all said. That's what a lot of y'all black men said.
So, but see, that makes me go into the conversation. For one, before I jump into that, I'll say this about Ayesha Curry. What I got from it is that she was being vulnerable and expressing her insecurity. And to clarify, because I've heard people say, oh, well, you know, you should, if your man is happy with you, that's all that should matter. And that is very untrue. And I'm going to tell you why. Because something like me, verbatim, knowing, being in the position, I know how the struggle of dealing with your insecurities. Because I do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very open in public and acknowledging the fact that I constantly am on a journey where I'm trying to be less insecure and more secure with myself. And with that being said, that is so untrue, because when you have insecurities, that's why it's called it's something that's inside, it's internalized. It has nothing to do with somebody outside affirming or confirming that you're beautiful. It don't matter if it's your husband. It don't matter if it's the man walking down the street. Like, at the end of the day, you still going to feel insecure, and you're not going to believe whoever is saying
to piggyback off of that, that's something that Ayesha actually touched on the show when they were talking about, you know, just being a mom. And she mentioned how she even thought about working is just taken away from her family time. And maybe she should be just, you know, spending more time with her kids and engulfed in her husband. But she also had to come to the realization, like, when these kids grow up and they leave, you know, I still have to have a sense of self. So you could clearly tell she's on a journey.
Yes.
You know, and dealing with her insecurity. So, it, you know, the show, it was a good show.
And who she
it.
was in the beginning, when maybe she first met Steph Curry, or before she met
Steph Curry. It's not going to be the same
who she is.
And that's
right
what
now.
Steph Curry mom said. You know, her, they've been married, I want to say like 30-something years. Mm-hmm. And, you know, she said, you know, once the kids are gone, it's kind of like, you know, my husband look at me like I ain't that 18-year-old girl he married, and I'm looking at him like you ain't what I married. You know, like you gotta have a sense of self.
Yeah, you do.
You really do.
And I felt like she was just like, when you're insecure, that's something that you have to be comfortable with. You have to dress for yourself. You have to, you know, look good for yourself. Mm-hmm. You have to want to be healthy for yourself first. Now, I feel like that does then project outward, and if you're happy and you exude some type of confidence and self-esteem and you feel sexy, I feel like that's going to project outward, and your husband is going to see that, and and if he really loves you, he's going to love that as well about you. So to say that you do something, like, for one, I beg of it, the first person I do something for is me first. You know what I'm saying? I do something when it in regards to me. It's me first. It's what makes me feel good, and then it should be a trickling effect of then going into and transitioning into your marriage or your relationship.
Right.
You shouldn't live your life where you out here like, oh, well, my man likes short hair, so I keep my hair short. Well, I'm not. If I don't like short hair. If I like long hair, I'm going to wear long damn hair. And that's just what it's going to be. Like, I had long hair when I met my husband and just cut my hair off and, you know, was bald. But I was bald. And he wasn't necessarily, like, jumping up for joy about it either. But you have to live for yourself. And I'm going to bring up somebody on my Facebook made a statement, and, you know, we agreed to disagree, because he made a statement to say, well, speaking on Ayesha Curry and them, it's like, well, for one, she shouldn't, you know, say that out loud, because, you know, now you don't bring people in your private. And I'm like, I don't think it was nothing wrong with her saying that, because she has my thing is, and this is something my husband said that's very true, when you sit in position, you have a platform, that means you have a voice. So when you have a voice, you use that voice, because you're trying to connect and reach out to other people who may need to hear that. So I feel like it was women out there who needed to hear
because everyone
Ayesha
is
say
not the
that.
same. Clearly,
exactly.
Because I've seen a lot of debates. I've seen, you know, women, especially single women, saying, you know, oh, that's why marriages are failing now, because y'all women out here worrying about other men looking at you. You have women who are in, you know, relationships or married saying, you know what, I can understand what she's saying. You know, I think you guys are running with it the wrong way. And I've seen single guys like, really? Really, women? I tell you you're beautiful every day, and this is what you go and say? It's like... Somehow everybody got to
really say that, because what y'all could be with, because we look at y'all and be like, y'all can have a woman who suck y'all every damn day, but you still go out there and cheat. Yeah, okay.
Who are like
Thank
that.
You. So like it lets you know that it has nothing to do with the other person. It has everything to do with you as a person yourself. You cheat because you want to cheat. It has nothing to do with the fact that person in the relationship satisfy you or don't satisfy you. It's ultimately up to you and how you feel. You know what I'm saying? And what you choose to do.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm about to be judgy for especially the men who had an issue with what she said and took it as, oh, you're making the marriage look bad. How can you do this? All he does for her. That tells me a lot on your communication in your relationship, in your marriage. Because before you stop to say, hey, well, he probably needs to ask her what makes her feel that way. Maybe how often does she feel that way, and let her know she doesn't need. You never know what's going on with women.
Do you think we as black, I don't want to just say black men and women, but do you think, like, we as women and men, like, do you think we, like, speak a different language? Like we don't speak the same.
We do.
We don't speak the same.
I
kind of feel like that.
I mean, it takes time to build on, you know, a relationship. Like when I was looking at the show, they made a comment that, you know, sometimes, you know, that family relationship, that's like one of the hardest relationships to have. Because it's about communication, and it's about respecting other people's boundaries and having respect for, you know, other people's feelings. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, my husband could say he feel a certain type of way, and all I could do is ask questions about it. I can't say, well, I don't know why you feel that way. You know, like, you know, that would shut the whole conversation down. So if she was to go home and Steph was like, really? I don't know why you feel that way. You need attention from other men? Is that what you need? Because that's what a lot of y'all men would have did. I saw your comments. You would have did it. You would have attacked your wife or your girlfriend immediately without sitting down and communicating on what's really going on. Or if you already know who your spouse is, you would have done what Steph Curry did. Ooh, that's what my kicker is about. Because Steph was not an amen corner for all y'all. Mm-mm. He was not. He was a true meaning of what they say, becoming one.
Well, here's my thing with that, because somebody made a statement too about the about we are one. We're in a marriage, you're one, and you know, I disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not some. You know,
to me,
my whole thought process of marriage has totally changed since being in a marriage. Here's the reason why I understood Jada Pinkett so clearly.
She mentioned it again, and it's a partnership.
So clearly.
She makes that clear.
Like, so.
Jada,
like, listen.
It's not even a marriage. It's a partnership.
It's a partnership. Mm-hmm. But, you know, don't that make you wonder? It seems like it's some real underlying hidden subliminal messages.
She said they're at, you know, that's the point they're at in their marriage. That's the phase, I guess. She was like, there are many phases you go through, and I guess that's one of the phases that they are at. Like, you might need to go do your own thing, not necessarily go out there sleeping around. But
I mean, but if that's
do
what
makes you happy.
That's what you do.
Will obviously likes to do stuff that's spontaneous and on the edge, skydiving, shit like that. Jada's, you know, more reserved. So if her red table talk is what makes her happy, and at the end of the day, when they do come together for their partnership or whatever, that's what works for them.
I believe when she said that, that's why, you know, I have a whole, being in the marriage now, I have a whole different philosophy on marriage. For one, I strongly believe marriage is a business. Like, that's it. When it comes to marriage, that's a business. Now, I'm not saying being with somebody, being in love with somebody is a business. No, the actual I'm saying the actual going and getting married, like, that's a business. Because, like, you think about it back in the day, like, remember how they used to get, like, back in the day, you married for wealth, status, or to put status and wealth. You married to put yourself in a better position. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really married for love. That's why, you know, when the woman got married, she had 2 chickens and a cow and a mule.
The purpose was to build.
Yeah. It was to build. It was practicality. It was about practicality. And I think that, you know, not to say that you can't love someone, you know what I'm saying, but I think that we tend to believe that when you're with someone and you decide to marry someone, that love conquers all, and that's the only thing you think about. And in reality, it's like, I think we're afraid to think that marriage is the business. So yeah, I love you, but what are you bringing to the table and I'm bringing to the table so that we can build and progress together? And when I say bring to the table, I'm not necessarily like monetarily, but if you got ambitions, if you got drive, if you got goals that you're trying to do, you know what I'm saying, does my goals and what I'm trying to do align with what you're trying to do? Because if it doesn't, it's not going to work. And we could love each other wholeheartedly, be in love. But when it comes to the business side of it, it's not going to work. Mm-hmm. And when I think about Jada and Will, like, because me and my mom was talking about this, like, you know, I think that, like, my mom was like, that's the smartest move. And I wish she was like, I wish my generation could understand what the new generation doing. She was like, even Tiny and T.I. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was like, it's better for us. We do more together, mm-hmm. and we benefit more together, business sense, than we do separate. And it's like, what do we...
Maybe some of our parents' generation did not get it, but their parents' generation got it. You know, mm-hmm. That's why you have some young people who look at it where, you know, well, my grandmother or great-grandmother was with, you know, my grandfather since this age, you know, and they were happily married. You don't know what happily they were. We don't know. We don't know what they went through. Mm-mm. But they did have a sense of, you know, like, we're in this. This is a partnership. Now, nobody's saying that you getting your ass slapped around the stage. Nobody saying you gotta say that. You gotta say that because people take stuff and say, so, if you doing, ain't nobody talking. No, nobody talking about that. Like, but if, you know, your safety is not at risk, and that even goes down to, like, when it comes to cheating, because that does put your safety at risk. If somebody's out here with, you know, a risque sexual appetite and they're just sleeping around, like, okay, I can understand you saying, like, yeah, we not gonna do that. Mm-hmm. You know, but
if y'all, like, listen, wear protection, you gotta tell me about the person before you have sex with them. Like, at least let me know. Because I can understand that. You want to know. Because you like, I don't need nobody looking at me. And I'm like, well, who that is? You know, I'm already prepared. Oh, bitch, I know you fucking him. You know, like, you know. But
you can't judge other people's relationships. You can't.
And that goes to say that that's what I feel. That's the next thing I was about to say. A marriage, a relationship, not even marriage. A relationship is defined by those two people that are in that relationship.
Thank you, honey.
Nobody else can tell me what I should do and shouldn't do within my relationship. Just like nobody should have been telling Aisha Curry,
right?
Oh, you messing up your marriage.
Speaking of which, let me read what Steph Curry said. He said, proud of you for being authentic and putting yourself out there. Not being afraid of the potential bullshit and nonsense that could and did come at you. Way more positive than negative with all of this. Keep being you. I love you.
Now, be honest now.
If you was on that show, tequila for you.
Would you pour it out? Yeah, that's a strong black man.
Somebody who obviously communicates with his wife. Who doesn't jump to conclusions.
I ain't gonna lie. If I would have said that, my husband probably... I ain't gonna lie, he probably would have been like, hey, really?
And you know, let me backpedal a bit. Let me backpedal a bit because I'm not in their house. I don't know what he could have said.
Behind closed doors.
Right. And after she explained herself, you know, then he said this, you know, to like, and that's what I mean when I say the one comes in. Because when you're one in a marriage, there's the unity. This proves that they're unified. Like at the end of the day, this is my wife. No one's going to attack my wife for speaking her truth, you know, and I respect him for that. I do.
You know what? I'm going to just go ahead and pour another one out for you, Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying?
Let me pour the
We just going to, we going to just, you know, pour it out a little liquor. We just going to go ahead and pour it out for Steph Curry for all of that, for doing all of those honorable black.
That's right. Man.
Didn't it set it off? God,
that was a tequila shot, by the way.
That thing was right. Okay.
Can y'all tell we just about to paint Charleston red when we get off this show.
Listen, but here's another thing too. Like, I feel like I don't necessarily look at these men who are saying this stuff like, I don't want y'all to think I think y'all wrong for saying what y'all saying, because I just look at it as that y'all got the information and took it in differently than
I'm being judgmental.
y'all process it
explains
differently.
some of y'all's relationships. And I'm
it processed rather differently, but I would say to single women out there right now, for you all, I would say in a relationship, if you're getting in a relationship or a marriage, you need to don't lose yourself. Now, I will say you probably will lose yourself a little bit. And I don't think it's intentional. I think you get so engulfed with each other and you're so in love, and you know what I'm saying, and you kind of lose a sense of yourself.
And that's something Steph Curry sister said while on the show. She said she opted not to travel with her husband. They've only been married like 6 months. Mm-hmm. And he's in the NBA. And she said she chose not to travel with him because then she felt like, she could easily lose herself.
Yeah.
And so,
because you got to understand, in honor of Mother's Day, you got to understand too, like, being a mother already, it's easy for you to kind of lose yourself. Not even saying that fathers can't, because I don't know. And that's the importance of why I say, do we communicate differently? Because I think sometimes we as women and men think, like, if I say, oh, mothers, we lose ourselves, it's to say that men don't. We're not saying that. You very well, but I can't speak.
Oh, I know men do.
I can't speak from your perspective.
Live like you did before the marriage, so
yeah. And I can only speak from a perspective of a woman. So it's not to throw shade or not to acknowledge the fact that y'all go into some things, y'all get, lose yourself, but it's just to say that the only perspective I can speak from is from a woman's perspective. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it feels to be a man and how men lose yourself. But I know that women are a little more open to speaking about their insecurities and the things that, we feel insecure about than y'all do. Mm-hmm. So we don't know the insecurities y'all have and the things y'all go through because y'all aren't as vocal and open about those things. Like everybody, typically men want to be like y'all strong all the time, which clearly you are not. And the fact that, like she said, I don't know what Steph Curry said to her behind the scenes.
I don't.
But for him to come out and say what he said shows that he has somewhat of security of who he is as a man. And the fact that he came and said what he said and defended his woman's honor, regardless of what other men had to say. You know what I'm saying? And that says a lot about where he sits at in his security.
You know what? I don't see his response taking off like her statement.
Of course, because it doesn't fit the narrative. It doesn't fit the narrative. It has to fit the narrative. And it went against what all these men were saying. And don't get me wrong, like, some of the memes was funny as hell.
The shit was funny.
I was laughing.
It was funny.
But at the same time, I think that we have to try to find a way to understand each other versus being combative with each other. And clearly, because we are women and we think differently, and I know it might be some women out here like, we don't think, I do it. Like, listen, we as women think differently than men. It's just biological makeup. It's just the chemical balances and the things in our head and the hormones and the stuff we have as women versus men. We think differently. We do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not speaking of people who may have some chemical imbalances that's off. And I don't want to say it like that, but I'm just saying, like, if some people have chemical imbalances that's off. So you may typically certain things like where they say women are, innately nurturing. And you might not have that. That may be something that's a little off, or not to say you're off, but that's just, what it is. But it's just to say that I think we should kind of try to understand each other and understand where we coming from before we act and say things and try to dismiss somebody's feelings in what they're saying. Like when men, you see the jokes about the men putting up, talk about it was a beeb, and talk about for Mother's Day, I'm gonna go on here and I'm gonna just trash women all day for Mother's Day, like y'all do on Father's Day. And then the guy came underneath the comments like, yup. And then I'm gonna be like, preach, brother, just like y'all do. And another guy come in like, yup. And I'm gonna be like, make it public, bro. And the other guy talk about, yup. And I'm gonna be like, say it for the neck, say it for the
no, I see that.
Yeah. So it was funny, but it was true.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like, because I can understand and relate. Like, it's Father's Day. Why on Father's Day can't we be celebrated? Like, why we gotta have a bunch of shit on our timeline talking about Mother, Dad, I'm happy Father's Day to me. Like, I'm the mother and the father. Like, why you doing that shit?
Right.
Like, you know, like, ain't no fucking happy Father's Day to you. You had Mother's Day. You're the mother. You hold it down. We celebrated you. So if you ain't got a father to celebrate, if you ain't got your own father, if you ain't got an uncle who's a father figure, if you ain't got your brother who's a father, then, you know, shut up, sis. Just chill. You know what I'm saying? Let the niggas have their day. You know what I'm saying? Promote and push the good fathers and the fathers who being fathers, and do that. Like, don't take away from them and not let them have their moment because you feeling some type of way. Like, no.
A lot of women do that. And I'm not gonna say we, because I've never taken away from any man for Father's Day, and I grew up without a father, so people do that. And you're right. I'm sure the men would appreciate you saying when Father's Day comes,
shut up, sis.
let the men have their day, because it is some good fathers out there.
It's a lot of good fathers out here. Let that man, like, and when
Because I have not seen any men on the timeline yet saying Happy Mother's Day to me. I have not.
You right.
I have not.
And you know what?
I
see a guy, shout out to Juice. He be on there. He's faithfully on there, showing, you know, him taking care of his daughters and everything. I don't know if you remember Juice. Remember Crystal Smith? Rest in peace, Crystal. She passed away. I was the father. You know, I don't know them people. You know them. You know if I, bitch. She know if I say it, but anyways, I'm gonna shout him out because I see him being very active in his daughter's life. He's a single father, but yeah, I don't see him around here talking about Happy Mother's Day to me. I don't see him doing that.
No, take all your recognition, mommy, on Mother's Day, just like I am going to do. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take it all on Mother's Day.
Mother's Day is Mother's break.
It's Mother's weekend. It's a celebration. You know how y'all do with your birthday? It's a celebration. It's all weekend. I'm hanging out all Saturday. I'm doing what I want to do. And on Sunday, I'm doing absolutely nothing.
Ain't it? And Mama,
I love you, Mama.
And ain't it? And don't they make you make like, I love you, but shit, damn it, you ain't got no kids. I do. And you know, you ain't got the word. You have Mother's Day break all the time until you get your grandkids.
You know what? I'm gonna say this.
What?
For the grandmothers out there, unless you like the grandmothers out there,
the Lubbies, the GGs,
we did a lot for y'all. We came home with them pictures and stuff on Mother's Day. You know, I went out my way to try to buy that little fake chain in elementary school, or the little throw blanket, or at home, Mama, I'm going to cook for you today. I did that stuff as a kid.
I didn't do all that.
I did. I feel like there are a few mothers, you know, Mother Day celebrations as an adult and a mother myself of multiples that I could just say, you know what, I'm not doing anything either, Mama. What you doing?
What you doing? Well, what you doing? Because I ain't cooking for you. Shit, it's my Mother's Day.
It's my Mother's Day.
It's my Mother's Day, too. That just remind me of Everybody Hates Chris. When the kids came to Julius, it was like, Dad, what you getting Mom for Mother's Day? He told me, it ain't white day. He told me it ain't white day. It's Mother's Day.
Let me find out that's how my husband secretly feels.
What you getting for your mom? That's true. That's
No, I did not hear that.
It's not Wife's Day. It's Mother's Day. So honestly, but then Rochelle looked at him and he said, I'm gonna get him something. That was the best line. I love that.
But we
line.
as mothers, we have a lot of pressure on us. I missed muffins with Mom yesterday, y'all.
And a lot.
And my 6-year-old was not happy when I picked him up. He got in that car.
Here, bitch.
And was like, that's what you would have got had you came this morning and ate a muffin with me. And I was like, I was at work. I was like, I'm sorry.
I think school should start doing stuff on the weekends for like designating those things, or having like maybe you have something in class, but designate something on the weekend for parents who can't get off on their job during the weekend.
I went into detail with him. He was like, and I was crying. I said, well, was I the only mother who wasn't there? No. And he named about 4 more kids whose parents wasn't able to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said,
but bitch, we ain't talking about them other
well,
parents.
you know, I'm
bitch,
talking about other
you.
people.
We talking
Because I
about
want to know if he was by himself. But he wasn't by himself. But I wasn't.
Why we
there.
do that?
But that's the pressure. Who else didn't come?
Who else ain't come?
I did do that. I pulled that. And I did pull, well, just be happy you got a mama and I'm here now. And but it's a lot of pressure. It's too much pressure. It's too much pressure.
So
being
y'all
a
see
mama.
why Aisha
Stop the damn muffins with Mom. It's Mother's Day. Don't require us to do anything else special or extra within our day. School. Stop the muffins with Mom. Yes, this is the muffins with Mom rage. Stop it. You're requiring us to do extra shit and live up.
Couldn't make it.
I couldn't make it. It hurt my child feelings. Stop it.
Did you tell Elijah you was gonna be there?
No.
Oh.
I did not.
You didn't tell Elijah. He was like,
girl, I did
and
not.
why weren't you there?
No.
Which I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear all
No.
that. But anyways, yeah, so as a woman, it can, having kids, she done had kids back to back. You know what I'm saying? You can clearly see she done gained some weight.
Oh, yeah, Miss Aisha Kerr, she is plump in the face.
Yeah.
At least now.
I think, but how a little back in her face always look like that.
Oh.
Anyways, but now.
Steph likes it.
Now, I do want to make this, now I want to flip it, now I want to say this, though. About Miss Aisha Curry. Now we know Miss Aisha Curry has marketed.
I don't follow. I don't know nothing about this girl.
Okay, she markets her. Well, she has a cooking show.
I've seen a picture. Of
Okay,
her
well she has a
at
cooking
a
show, and she does market herself to be Betty Crocker, the Black Betty Crocker. And I've heard her make statements. I've read her make statements to say, I don't need to show this or do that to be secure and feel good about myself. She has said that she's made little statements to say that, it kind of looked like it's kind of like some shade, as to say, like, as to look at herself like in a position as like she's the martyr for what a good wife acts like.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And then, looking at the way she dressed and stuff, like she was on the beach, child. She had a nun outfit on. We ain't wearing a nun. But it looked like it was just like you on the beach, bitch. You got your dress come up to here with sleeves down to here and I'm serious. And the long dress to the floor. So it's like if you want to be sexy or if you want somebody to be like, okay, I see you, well, you gotta look that way. Like, you can't be right here wanting people to give you some attention. And you right here looking like, do you see how she dressed?
I see how she always dresses. I'm looking.
Yeah, like, come on now. But you want somebody to be like, ooh, you look, like nobody looks at you like that.
Even if people did, I think now she's in a grow period where it's like, well, I know I've been saying wear this, wear that, but what if I do want to wear something a little different from what I was saying or the person I used to be? Like,
But see, that is why, too, you don't be judgmental. Yeah. That's why you don't speak with conviction about what other people doing, because we're like, what I learned a long time ago, you know, I gained some wisdom after I watched Eat, Pray, Love with Julia Roberts. Good movie with Julia Roberts. Good movie. Good book. Good movie. So the point of the movie, basically, she made a statement and said, you know, life, what she came to find out, she basically was, she had a bad divorce, bad breakup. So she was just like, you know, really sad. And she was like, I'm about to just go out and just travel, find myself, and just live right now. So she went to like all across the country. She went to Greece. She went to Rome. She went everywhere. And every place she went, she was eating. That's why I ain't ate no chocolate. My teeth weak. I got weak teeth. Child, you have me more teeth missing.
I'm about
Bitch,
to
I'm trying to keep.
I
gotta keep the teeth I got.
These are hard toast strings, which I don't know what they call them.
He's crouton plaques.
I don't even eat croutons.
But I don't even know if they are. That's what they taste like. But anyway, she goes on this journey. She goes on this journey, and she finds herself, and she realizes that at the end of the day, life is about adapting and adjusting. It's about being able to. So basically what she learned is when that divorce came, you know what I'm saying, she shouldn't have lost herself in that marriage. So to the fact that she never considered that he may not be here, whether he died, whether he left, you know what I'm saying, whether she passed, whatever the case may be, she shouldn't have gotten so comfortable, because life is steady changing and evolving. Right. So it's about changing. So the whole point that I'm saying in regards to Aisha, like, and anybody else who, like, even the people who coming at her, like, don't be so quick to judge, because life is forever changing, and it's about evolving, and it's about growing, and it's about adjusting and adapting. Meaning when you transition to a new stage in your life, not fighting it, but understanding why you feel this way now, why you adjust to it and adapt to where you're at that moment. And has she done that, instead of being, oh, I'm just too sexy, and oh, I'm just too much of a good woman, she might have not felt so, like, you know, like a fight within herself to try to understand, like, you know, why do I desire some attention now? Maybe you desire some attention now, or maybe you want some attention now because maybe you've come to the point where you, like, maybe that's yourself saying, you know, let's you know, embrace your sexuality. Embrace your womanness. Embrace your sexuality. Embrace the fact you like looking at your titties in the mirror, or you like looking at yourself butt naked, and you like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Embrace the fact that you want a Brazilian wax, and you want to wear some high cut, you know what I'm saying, panties.
I think she getting off of Aisha a bit, but that's just my opinion.
I'm just saying, the whole point that I'm saying is, you know, you may be in a stage where you embrace your sexuality.
You're right.
So you don't judge things, because you always leave things open to the point to be able to adapt and adjust. You know what I'm saying? And that's even for people, women who against her, saying, oh, y'all around here wanting this and wanting that. Don't judge that, because you may very well get in the stage where you be like, dang, like, I don't feel complete anymore. Right. I need something else. This is not even enough.
And that's the same with the kids. You know, I agree with what kids. Her and she made that comment.
The way you just paused.
But she said that was something her and Steph do, that she learned from his parents, that, you know, the marriage is in a way above the kids. Like, their relationship and their bond is above the kids. Not saying neglect your kids and not feed them and clothe them. But of course, if the kids are
it's
fine.
It's about us kids. Eat the air. Eat the air. Okay? Me and your dad trying to talk.
But you have to have that, you know, mommy daddy time. You can't be so engulfed in the kids all the time. And there are couples who just don't go anywhere without the kids.
And you know what I can't stand?
No place.
I can't stand people act like they don't have sex when their kids in the house. Or like when their kids ain't up. Like, stop acting like y'all be, the kids ain't sleep yet. Like, bitch, please, if you don't cut on the news on CNN.
I be like, we can't be too loud because the kids.
I know, but you turn on CNN like you watching the news.
We accidentally turned on Black Panther one time. That was the wrong movie. Kids at the damn door. I want to watch Black Panther. Y'all watching Black Panther?
That's why you turn it to the news.
Wrong show.
You turn it to the news.
But yeah, you have to
close the door.
You have to be into, each other, and you have to be, into yourself too.
You put that pillow behind that headboard. So it don't be not.
Poor kids. Poor kids.
You listen. I ain't ashamed.
No, but they say that.
Ain't ashamed, child.
You got to love each other and make time for each other, and it can't always be about just my husband or the kids. We got you got to make time for your husband. Y'all two have to have y'all's time, and as a wife and a mother and a woman, you have to have time for yourself too. Mm-hmm. Because when the kids are gone and the husband has his own thing to do.
Producer, do you have a problem with me having time for myself? Do you feel like it's a limit on me having time for myself?
I don't know what that means.
Meaning, like, do you feel like, you can have some time for yourself, but, like, what's too much? You don't know? I'm putting you on the spot.
I think there could be a way for anyone to overdo it.
You think
you
so?
have to have, and nobody's being your mama or your daddy, but you have to have some type of common ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you started saying, you know what? Hey, I'm going out to happy hour. Mm-hmm. And you don't like going out to happy hour on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Come Tuesday, babe, I'm about to go to happy hour again. You go out to happy hour again. You're like, okay, fine. Mm-hmm. Wednesday come, I'm going out to happy hour. Now, these happy hours, it's not the problem. The problem is each time these happy hours may extend by an extra hour. And then when it starts affecting the household in general, well, babe, I gotta go to work. It's 10 o'clock. You still at happy hour? On a Tuesday? You was there Monday.
Well, that's just
then
you
the
have to be
day,
responsible.
You didn't wake up on time because you was happy hour. And yes, some people get carried away in that sense. Like, you gotta have, like...
But you know what? We have to ask, too. You have to ask, too, like, why does those things happen? Like, I feel like, if you get sick, you have symptoms, right? Mm-hmm. Like, when you sick, you got a cold, you start feeling the itchy in your throat, or your nose start to run, or your eyes, get itchy. So I feel like you have symptoms with certain things that show something is wrong. Okay. So let's say you're going out to happy hour and you just going all the time. And maybe in your eyes you feel like, well, I'm just going to have fun. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that's a symptom, and that's your inner self crying out for something. Like something you're not giving yourself, or something is malnourished with something emotionally or spiritually inside of you that you're trying to indulge, and you're trying to kind of like supplement it with going to this happy hour all the time. So now it makes you think like, well, is it something you avoiding at home? Mm-hmm. Is it, the fact that you feel like you able to be a little bit more free, carefree? Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like certain things is a cry or a symptom for you to look at what's really going on. If you going out all the time like that, and especially when you ain't used to. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I feel like in that sense, yes, that's not being responsible, but you gotta ask yourself why you're not being responsible like you used to be. Like what's the factor? And that in itself to me is where men and women should try to like bridge the fact that we speak on two different languages and we don't communicate on the same wavelength. That's when we need to start maybe trying to communicate on like a human, like humanity wise, like on a human wavelength. So you say, so my husband always out, like now he going out. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being like, you know, you fucking going out all the fucking time, all fucking every fucking night, nigga, that shit ain't gonna fucking happen. You know what I'm saying? Instead of me turning up like that, maybe I should be like, well, babe, like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? Like, are you, well, like, were you feeling like, you know, were you feeling trapped? Were you feeling like confined? Were you not feeling free? Do you feel like now you're going out? Like, do you feel, you know, fresher breath air because maybe you wasn't giving yourself enough time to have your moment and your time, and now you're starting to overindulge.
I can agree with that. That's how it should be approached. But realistically, in relationships, it's not always approached that way.
But I'm just saying that's something that we should start looking at and thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you caught your significant other cheating, I'm not saying that you should just be like, well, what's going on? But you should say, like, well, what's going on? Like, it's something. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you weren't cheating and all of a sudden you're cheating. Something's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, something's going on.
Nobody say you gotta put up with it. But,
no,
you know,
you don't have to put up with it. But it would
you do have every right to ask, like, you know, well, what happened?
Closure. That gives you closure, too.
Yeah.
How much longer we got producing?
And we have to also realize and respect the fact that they don't have to answer that either.
Well, maybe they don't answer because they don't know.
Right.
I mean, I can't tell you.
And if you don't get that
I don't
answer,
know.
you know,
you gotta be okay with it.
You gotta be okay with it. You know, at least you asked. So.
Because everybody ain't gonna be
honest.
But
yeah, there's definitely
Because maybe he feel like, you know, you a little dry lately. You need some lube.
Well, you should have bought her some lube before your ass went out there slipping and sliding somewhere else. I'm just saying.
But then that's as you as a woman could be like, oh, I'm dry. Well, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm dry now. Okay. Maybe it's something I'm eating. Maybe I'm stressed out. I guess maybe it's something going on.
I could getting old, bitch. It happens.
Getting old and getting dry?
That's what I've heard. I ain't old yet.
Man, I think unhealthy bitches get dry when they get old.
You saying
and I'm saying I'm being judgmental.
You being judgmental. Might be some older women watching this like, wait till you get dry, hoe. I'm just saying, things happen in your youth. I mean, I can't run outside like I used to. Shit. It's too fucking hot. I'm tired. My knees hurt.
Well, let me ask you this. What is the age when they get dry?
I don't know. I ain't trying to find out.
Well, you need to know.
I don't want to know.
I'm still trying to figure out when does the gray pubic hair come?
You know, I think it happens like just whenever.
So it could just boom. You can be 40 and it could just pop, boom, gray.
I wonder.
Cause honey, that is not a good sign. That is not a good.
I remember I thought I saw a gray one time, but it was the reflection of the light. I got worried. Lord, my whole world ended. I had to get the mirror look. I was like, oh.
I got a gray eye there. I mean,
that's just when the light hit it.
If I start graying, when I start graying, I'm gonna just keep my thing bald.
Yeah, just keep it bald.
I'm gonna just bald it, child, cause I ain't got. But for those who don't know, that happens too, child. You ain't gonna have to worry about. For all you ladies who don't like nothing down there, just hold on. You ain't gonna have to get no Brazilian wax, no shave, no nothing, honey, cause it ain't gonna be there. Okay, it ain't gonna be that, y'all. You gonna be bald in the sun.
Can't y'all tell this sangria done kicked in?
Yes. Okay, so I think we kind of like tapped on everything.
I think we did. And I took my little kicker for Steph. I'm happy with your response.
And I want to shout out 50 Cent.
Who 50 shaming?
Because 50 is like a collection agency. So shout out to 50 Cent. If y'all ain't following 50 Cent on Instagram and Twitter, y'all need to, because that nigga is hilarious, child. That nigga, everybody owe 50 talk, everybody owe 50. Jackie Long, Tierra Marie, shoot, and Young Buck.
What can I get along 50?
You don't want to owe 50, child. You rather owe the IRS before you owe
He
50.
can call my black ass out. I don't care. Shit, let everybody know. I don't care. If they ain't pay him back yet,
But they ain't
put
got
me
it
on the
though.
collect. I don't either.
I don't think you want to owe 50. That nigga harass you worse than a goddamn bill collector. You be like, God damn, nigga.
50 cents since you making money now.
It says 50 cents since you got a job and you making some money, baby, you can give me my money back. Okay though, so to sum this all up, you know what I'm saying? Basically, let's try to be better as, women and men in communicating and understanding where we're coming from. I'm not saying agree. I'm just saying just kind of get a sense of understanding and base your relationship off of you and whoever you with. Don't be worrying about what other motherfuckers
Don't be the odd
say.
couple when people come to town, act like somebody done stampered in on y'all open marriage. Be yourself. Do what works within your marriage. Everything that works for Melissa and Juan's marriage doesn't necessarily work for my marriage.
Because she don't like being at home with her kids all day. But I don't really think my husband like me being home all day.
Now that the kids getting older, maybe the all day ain't the same. Maybe he feel like now she got too much time on her damn hands. You never know. Do what works for you.
You're right. Do what works for you. And, at the end of the day, the only person you can be honest and truthful with is yourself. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? Keep those things in mind. Let's grab our cup and toast to this bomb-ass Black Mama Sangria. Okay? And we got to, what they call it? Copyright this shit, because motherfuckers gonna steal.
They can steal all that.
No, they can't, because I need my money. I'm like 50 cents.
Mm-hmm. That's why I ain't putting these products on the table no more. You can use whatever you want, long as it's a red, long as it's a brandy flavored.
Blueberry. What was red? Blueberry?
It was blackberry flavored brandy. Any red wine, Cabernet, Merlot, whatever you want. Sprite or ginger ale.
Clink, clink. Mm-hmm. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see y'all next time for episode 18. Y'all be good. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day,
to
mommies.
all of the mothers.
I will celebrate for you if you can.
See y'all later, and peace, and we out.